Alright, here's some real mentalism for you guys out there in cybersphere. Alright, now pick your favourite card. Obviously not the Ace of Spades. Have you got something?
Yes.
Okay. It's the Queen of Hearts.
No.
8 of Diamonds.
No.
3 of Clubs.
No.
6 of Spades.
No.
Jack of Spades.
No.
Jack of Diamonds.
No.
10 of Diamonds.
No.
9 of Spades.
No.
Okay, 4 of Diamonds.
No. It was the
3.
It was the 10 of clubs.
I said that 4 hours ago.
No, you said the 10 of diamonds 4 hours ago.
Damn it. Hello and welcome to NPCs of Tal'Dorei, reviewing episode 9, some classical D&D, with myself, Oliver.
You swore you would not say it in the next episode, and
Okay.
you saw it. You said it.
Like 10 seconds in.
Yeah.
I know.
Did you forget you said that? Yeah, I thought so. And that was part of what we said as well.
Yeah. Basically.
Did you see the classic counter that I put up last episode?
I don't watch the last episode
Oh,
yet.
if you watched the last episode, I put a classic. How many times you say classic?
How many times did I say?
I think it got up to like 9.
That's amazing. Anyway, welcome to NPCs of Tal'Dorei, reviewing episode 9 of Critical Role.
Yeah. Vintage
Critical Role. Not the other word that I'm not going to say anymore. It was called, now I'll get you to say the title because it's got a difficult to pronounce word.
You always give me credit for not being able to say, okay, where is this? Hold on. Yul'Voril Uncovered.
That was alright.
Yeah. So that's
Yul'Voril, but yeah,
Yul'Voril,
you were close.
whatever.
I commend your efforts.
It's basically the city of the Ithilid.
Illithid. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. So
That's my thing. My thing is mispronouncing words.
I just forget everything that's happened in my entire life, and then you just try and comment on it and can't say the right
It's kind of like 50 dates later. Like I come in and it's like ready to film. You're like, film what?
That's basically every video. Like how many months have we been doing NPCs? And today I still had to ask.
I think to April.
Yeah, and today I still had to ask when do we release them? Like
yeah. Even though you've literally got the schedule on your screen right now.
Monitor at the moment. Anyway, we're here to review and recap Critical Role episode 9.
Yeah.
It's real fun going back over these old episodes. Actually, I've seen a lot of people in the Critic community posting on the fan pages. They do. When they finish the entire thing, they just go back from episode 1. So there's other critters doing this as well.
And we're nearly in double digits of doing the
older ones.
The older ones, yeah.
So, essentially, this continues the quest line. They've found Lady Kima Reward, the halfling paladin, deep within the cities of Craghammer.
I'm pretty proud you didn't call her a dwarf.
I know. Yeah, I'm improving. The one thing I do remember, that's only because of the electroshock therapy I had to go through.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure, electroshock therapy is me just giving you crap.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same principle, negative reinforcement.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, they've found Lady Kima. They have Clarota the Mind Flayer with them. And essentially this is where they get a few more questline bits. So they want to save Grog, because Queen Alara has captured him. And the other thing that they want to do towards about the middle of the episode is Clarota wants to be reaccepted as one of the hive mind, essentially, and make his... And
I think it was another case of actually Matt kind of pushing them to do it because of the conversation that Keyleth has and the group really has about kind of just leaving it there because they don't trust Kima. Yeah. They kind of have done what they intended to do and they were thinking about leaving, but then Matt was just like, all right, so they're not listening to Kima, maybe they'll listen to Clarota.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Because at this point, even though Kima does become a very popular and useful NPC later on, this is the first time they've ever met her. They don't know her intentions. I mean, they know she can do some cool stuff in combat because they've seen that.
But she's been tortured.
Yeah.
And when you've been tortured for a while, you can't go a little bit crazy. Ask anyone with mental illness like we have.
Yes.
You torture yourself enough that you're kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's actually why I continuously talk about how attractive I am. Even though it's a joke, that self-affirmation actually works a little bit. Just
I don't know if you actually believe it's a joke now.
No, not at this point. But would you?
Anyway.
So, they've got Kima Reward, they've got Clarota, and essentially...
they found where Grog has been kept.
Yes, with Queen Ulara. And essentially they think, alright, well, let's go in and get them. And they do some stealth. I've also got... They're so fresh-faced. It's nice seeing them all cute and young. It's funny, if you go back to NPCs...
It's only been like 2 years, though. It's like cute and young 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Just better cameras.
Yeah, the camera adds £10, but the more money you spend on the camera, the better you look. That's just physics. So essentially, they've rolled a stealth. Tiberius actually, as the sorcerer, does have invisibility spells. I do believe he's got a ring of invisibility, which is a cool item. And
he's a sorcerer. He's got
spells. cool
up
stuff.
Up his sleeve bag?
Yeah, up his bag of sleeves.
Up his bag sleeves.
Yeah, up his sleeve bag. Yeah, he just got it sewed into his sleeve.
Yeah, sleeve bag.
Sleeve bags, yeah, up his sleeve bags.
Yeah.
Now, clever stuff happens. They all roll stealth and try and stealth along. They find the place where Queen Alara is. She's got a few Duergar around her, so, Guards, yeah.
She is a queen after all.
After all, yeah, exactly. Yes. The twins throw daggers and shoot. Basically, surprise round. They decide, okay, we're going to do this right. Let's get some surprise attacks in before we all roll initiative.
Yeah, so basically they just try and take out as many guards as possible.
Yeah.
Just to make things a little bit easier, because you're going against a queen.
Yeah.
Who's a bit pissed off.
And if you want to thin the numbers, I mean, there's a couple of approaches that are standard in D&D. Sneak attack, lure them away with the cries, or throw a rock and when they're distracted, kind of thing. But yeah, that kind of works. Scanlan goes in to talk to Alara. He essentially tries to approach the thing.
Well, once they kind of been the group of that's captured Grog have been alerted to the presence, Scanlan's like, all right, let's try and talk this out.
Yeah,
the way Scanlan, and I think he has one of the lines that always comes up is I don't make promises to dogs. I love that line because you see that in a lot of clip shows on the internet of Critical Role, like really cool sayings, and that's one of them.
Nice. We also this is the introduction of Scanlan's cube cock. The first episode where he mentions that his cock is the same length and width and is essentially a cube, which is referenced multiple times in the rest of the campaign.
I think we should be more polite with that and say penis.
Yeah, sorry, cube penis. Sorry. No, you're right. We don't want to be vulgar on this. This is a serious discussion.
Penis.
Yeah, exactly. Penis. We need to use the right proper terms. Otherwise, it'll seem like we're taking the piss. Right. Yeah, so we've got to take it very seriously.
And plus, like, the YouTube copyright system, not copyright, like vulgar language, you can't overly use
They'll take our video down again.
So I guess, is penis?
Penis should be fine.
Penis should be fine.
That's a quote right
there.
there.
But we've used it quite a lot now. We've used the penis quite a lot.
Yeah, we have used a lot of penis.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm so sorry. It's just been a weird day. I don't know.
It's hot. It's hot.
It's hot. That's what it is. Currently in New Zealand, we're just striking the heart of summer. I live on the 3rd floor, and there's one window in this place, and it's like being in a sauna, but without the attractive people.
And there was an earthquake too earlier today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 2 a.m.
Oh, I would have slept right through that thing. Yeah. Anyway, roll initiative, essentially. Now, this is cool. Percy is using Pepperbox, a gun that he doesn't get too much love after he creates bad news. That kind of takes over as being his favourite weapon.
From a name point of view, bad news sounds way better.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Pepperbox.
Pepperbox is like...
it just seems so delicate.
Yeah. It's exactly. Honey, can you grab the pepper box off the top shelf? Oh, yes, darling.
Yeah, it's right next to the bad news.
Doesn't exactly strike fear into the hearts of your opponent. Look out or I'll shoot you with this pepper box.
I've got some bad news for you. You can't really use much puns with that. No, I'm going to throw a pepper box at you.
I'm just going to be thinking of pepper box puns for the rest of the episode. So we got some cool stuff. Tiberius goes invisible. Percy starts shooting with pepper box. Vax and Vex start doing stealthily shooty kind of stuff.
It's kind of one of those classic kind of just...
He said it. He said classic.
I know, I said classic last episode too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like 9 times.
30 seconds.
But it was just one of those kind of just take out all the minions kind of thing. But the cool thing that Scanlan did, he did banish the queen to kind of put her in that kind of put her out of the equation so they can deal with everything else and then bring her back and actually interrogate her.
Which is a really clever idea. Banishment is a difficult spell. It's a high-level spell. Essentially, you take them to a plane of existence for a short time. And and then they return. But take her out of the equation, hit the numbers down, and then when you're facing her, she doesn't have people by her side. Very, very clever. And
that's basically what they do. They take out everyone, and then they prepare for the queen to come back after the banishment. You got anything else on the battle?
Tiberius accidentally hits Grog with fire. He essentially creates a fireball and forgets that Grog is right there. And there's a little bit of argument with the DM from Tiberius and Matt. Because Tiberius kind of says, I wouldn't have done that had I not known that Grog was there. And Matt was kind of like, well, I've already shown you everything.
It's kind of one of those, I think it was more of a slip of the mind, but it didn't really... Maybe you just forgot about that description. I don't know whose side to go on.
No, it's difficult as well. I mean, we had a problem with the rules in our last game, in which, so... I
wasn't there, so I don't know.
Oh, right. Well, essentially we had a situation where the chat corrected us, because multi-attack... made someone unconscious, and I stuffed up as a DM, and the chat corrected me, And so I actually kind of just reversed time a little bit. I resolved the matter, and we went forward.
Well, with any D&D game, you get mistakes.
Yeah, no,
and
exactly.
it's just about what you do when those mistakes happen. Sometimes they benefit the narrative.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are actually pretty critical in a final battle, especially with our one where one of the PCs died.
Yeah.
If you didn't correct that,
a
lot of questions may have been asked.
Yeah. So I actually had to, through the use of an NPC, reverse time a little bit and change some stuff.
It's just so a random NPC arrives. Wait. Bye.
Not a random NPC, quite a crucial NPC.
Oh, yeah.
One of the ones from for the next arc. But yeah, essentially, bad stuff happens. They go in, they deal a ton of damage as Vox Machina, and that's when Keyleth turns Earth Elemental
For the first time, apparently.
Yeah. We also get we get the first Cube Penis, the first Earth Elemental, and the first Whisper on the stream in this episode. Yeah.
It's kind of adding in elements that we're going to see quite a lot of, especially Keyleth using more of a druidic powers. The whispering, which has always had a miss, the whispering, whether it's beneficial or not, mainly because you don't actually know what information is being whispered.
But I kind of like that because it's for me it's more of the role play of yes, this person actually does know something and I don't know it.
But would you find it more interesting for you as an audience? So we're looking at this from a viewership point of view, not gaming point of view. To know what the whisper is.
I think
because I think from a narrative point of view that would be fantastic, but keeping it away from the players, especially if it's a secret that has to be contained for several weeks, potentially.
I think it actually would be like a case-by-case basis. Sometimes I'd like to know what Matt says, and sometimes I'd just like to see the players play and see if I can figure out what he said.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So I don't have a definite answer for that.
I would like it to, if they develop a way of like, once Whisper has been said and that kind of the information's been used, we find out when that that was the Whisper, or whether they still have a secret that's still like contained.
Well, it's a storytelling device. It's known as audience privacy, and essentially it's we know something that the characters do not. But I like being on the other side of that, and they know something that I don't, and I have to figure it out through it. But other times, I kind of want to know.
I just like knowing the answers and stuff, or the law stuff. I just like it.
Analyst Dave.
I'm not putting that in.
No,
I guess I have to now. You did it. All right.
Sorry. So then, now, Earth Elemental form is wonderful because you can literally dive into the Earth and swim through it and then pop out somewhere else.
Like water.
This is why I love druids. That's why I play one in one of the games. So, Keyleth essentially pops up and grabs Ulara and locks her, grapples her fully.
Once she comes back from banishment, though.
Yeah. As soon as she's unbanished, whoosh, Earth Elemental arms lock around Ulara. And,
they actually try a whole person. Like I think Tiberius tries whole person, then Scanlan tries whole person, and then all our spells are elemental because you can't really not be restrained when it comes from the earth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But during this time also they release Grog, so Grog's freed, and he's a bit wounded, but it's Grog.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
And I think Travis is fully using the voice by this point.
Yeah,
he's not 50-50, even outside of character. Like when he's just talking to the DM, he uses the Grog voice as well. So
I love the Grog voice.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Anyway, then they start questioning Ulara. Ulara realizes at this point that for now the jig is up. She kind of resigns herself a little bit and starts talking to them. However, when they ask her a key question of what does Kavan want, that's when Kavan comes in himself, takes over Ulara, speaks through her, using Matt's awesome Kavan voice. And he essentially says, come get it.
Evil monologue. Kind of taunting. Again, this comes it's not strong railroading, but it's trying to push them in the right direction, because there is many times while you're watching this episode, you think, are they actually going to kill this guy?
Yeah.
And I think Matt was thinking the same thing, so he had to throw in as many nuggets to force them to that. So this was another one of those, you got this bad guy, you got to kill him.
Yeah.
Go for it, but they still were questioning it.
Yeah. And also there was a little bit of the questions they were asking Ulara, because Matt would have to give up that information, being that the NPC has realised that they have to speak. That's kind of, I think, his way of saying, actually, you're not supposed to know this yet. You don't want to. I don't want you to know just yet what Kavan wants. So that's when Kavan came in and started talking through Ulara. Anyway,
but you have to give enough a bit of a tidbit for them to find out. Want to find out.
But I think they do get slightly more invested in finding Kavan.
I think they do. But when we go after kind of Queen Ulara, she dies basically from this position. I don't know whether that was because of the spell or whether Kavan has a way of just ending her life that way. It goes back to Kima, and basically the team tells Scanlan to go distract Kima, talking about some boil or something on his back or something. And then
he minor illusions a purple nipple.
Yeah, and then they talk about how they've kind of done what they intended to do. They got Grog back. What do they do now? And it was kind of a split kind of party. Like, Vax was kind of like, yeah, we should come do this.
Yeah.
And Keyleth was didn't really want to, doesn't trust Kima.
Yeah.
And that's when, after the break, so they have a break after this when they they decide to rest, and then Clarota comes back and then gives that monologue about how he wants to go back to his city.
Yeah.
Which I think was Matt's way of saying, this is the way you're supposed to go.
Yes. And as you may know, Matt puts literally hours every week of work into this stuff, which I kind of feel like with his direction of this is where you should go, I think it's kind of justified sometimes. But again, in D&D, you do want your players to be able to make free choices.
Railroading is not a terrible thing. It's only when the party really wants to do something else.
Yeah.
And it's way too obvious.
Yeah.
It's like the party decides, look, we just need a break from, say, combat. Or
yeah.
We just want to kind of relax and go to the city and kind of just get our bearings. But then all of a sudden
this creature comes and attacks them.
And a vampire stands in front of you that's trying to conquer the world.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of railroading. But if it's something like this, that I think Matt wouldn't have, stopped them from leaving if they really wanted to.
He wouldn't.
But he gave enough subtle hints that's like, yeah,
it's something that I'm trying to get better at, not pushing it, a plot line too far. Like when Melandria to talk to the party, she essentially said, "Look, I've got something I have to tell you, but take your time." Set your affairs in order, and essentially I kind of set up that as soon as you talk to her, that's when the next bit of the story is going to engage. But I'm not going to give you any time really on that.
I think from any storyteller that comes from experience of how to do it subtly and not subtly to do it at the same time. So
anyway, we come back after the break, and there's some armor trading. Vex actually wants to trade her chainmail that she was wearing because that's not really working for her stealth, so she takes that off. And as soon as she does, Grog whips out a pen and paper and goes. Because obviously, it's D&D, you can't take a snapshot on your phone. So he tries his best, and the cast jokes that he's just drawn a stick figure. Essentially, he draws her naked, memorises it, and goes, "Got it."
Stick figure with boobs on it.
Yeah. Which is just funny. Essentially, Clarota wants to save the city. He wants to save the city to be reaccepted.
Oh, you'll go wow.
Fundus, the forest of Fundus, is where they decide to go.
Yeah.
So... Vax's foot is still really badly damaged from the lava, and he keeps putting it on the table, which bugs Vex, but I think it actually bugs Laura, because she's like, we have food on the table.
They're still getting food all the time.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about the old episodes, is just pizza keeps showing up. Basically,
yeah. After they've finally made the decision, alright, let's go, let's find out this Kavan thing and get rid of him. Okay. They kind of journey forward, and they come across a few bodies here and there, and a very odd message. It was like 4, I didn't write it down, 4 Valora? Rule or something?
Ulara.
What was it?
Ulara?
Lara. Yeah. Maybe it's Ulara?
I don't have it written down, so
but I can't remember. Vague. This is a terrible part of the recap. But that happens.
Essentially, Kavan, when he was taking over Ulara, said, "I'm in the temple. Come find me in the temple." And the party essentially said, "Well, we're not going to the temple. We're going to find him, but we're not fighting him on his terms. We're not going to lead and go exactly where he's told us to go. That's just a bad idea in general." But they did have a hint that they were going the right way. Yeah. And originally, so they just plow on forwards. They do some cool stuff with Tiberius lighting up an arrow and Vex shooting it so they can see down into the darkness. But they find a whole bunch of corpses that are all skeletal. Yep. Cobwebs, been there for quite some time.
And the normal looting thing goes on. You still got the Vex being greedy thing. That's
and then,
still in there.
Yeah, and then Matt says that they were actually adventurers, it looked like, which I thought was an interesting thing, because when I suddenly realised, writing my world, I was like, wait, you guys wouldn't be the first adventurers ever to exist. So there's little bits of that hidden around. But,
it's kind of hard, You have to try and balance the fact of the world did exist before these guys existed. Basically.
So a whole bunch of investigation goes down. Yada yada yada. There was a female gnome corpse there, so Scanlan goes over to that just to be slightly.
That's kind of creepy.
It's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, there's a limit to Scanlan's creepiness. I think that was one of those take it too far.
He kind of runs quite close to the line a lot. Loot. This is where they find the pendant. With a beautiful sapphire in it, and Vax kind of goes, "Oh, sweet," and grabs it, and Matt goes, shouldn't have done that, roll a con save, and he fails the con save with a nat 1, and essentially falls over onto the ground, hands go numb, Kima and Pike, who's not actually there. Actually, she's not there. She's off doing Hollywood stuff. Matt takes care, and they rush to Vax's side and start trying to revive him from the.
You shouldn't pick up random things without being careful about it. It's like if you go into a room, not check for traps, kind of thing.
Yeah. If you ever go into a goblin stronghold, you don't just blah, da, 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 da. You want to definitely check for traps. And if you find a whole bunch of corpses with a really powerful, magical looking artifact.
There's probably a reason why the corpses are there.
Yeah, I wouldn't just run in and be like, oh, cool, I wonder if that fits. Hey, it does, alright. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's like going to a big cave and you're like, there's a dragon there. Alright, let's go.
Yeah. Or walking into a room and go, are there any dragons here? Here. You're so
No, it would be like, no, okay.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that happens.
Just like this channel.
They essentially, they keep going towards their goal. Not Kavan, Clarota is looking happier and happier as they get close to essentially what is his home. He's kind of picked up a little bit, and Matt says that he's more talkative.
Yeah, because he's kind of getting what he wants. And whether this was his plot all along,
we don't know.
We don't know yet.
Then Keyleth decides to go for a swim, and essentially says that she runs and jumps and transforms, and it was at this point where it was like goldfish, but no, she turns into a shark and lands in the water.
Yeah, I think this is the episode like Keyleth is really, or Marisha say, is embracing the druid nature, because she's using elemental forms more, she's using, what is it, wild shape?
Wild shape, yeah.
Wild shape more.
Well, see, one of the interesting things is the two archetypes in the player's handbook for druid are Circle of the Light and Circle of the Moon. Circle of the Moon greatly reduces stuff with wild shape. It lets you do it more. It lets you do it with higher challenge rating creatures. And Circle of the Light gives you more spells. But the consensus seems to be that they only really wanted, like, Circle of the Light was only created so people had a choice, because if you're going to play a druid as a spellcaster, there's not really much point. You've got sorcerer, wizard, warlock.
Is she one of these ones, or
should be Circle of the Moon, if anything, at start.
I thought she was one.
Well, that's the Tal'Dorei campaign setting.
Yeah, but they do have special archetypes, and I'm just going to check. We'll
go
quickly. Skip.
Yeah, we'll just, or I'll just beatbox while.
Nah, there isn't. There isn't a subclass for druids.
Oh, okay.
I thought there may be a special one for the Arashari.
So she would be if she hasn't got. If
probably Moon.
I mean, I'm sure if she had one, it would be in the Tal'Dorei campaign setting.
I'm sure it'd be on the critical role wiki if we bothered to look at it.
So she would be Circle of the Moon because that is really, really useful for wild shapes and stuff. And yeah, if you want to play a spellcaster. Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard kind of thing, because they just have more power, kind of stuff, a longer list of spells and that kind of thing. I do love Druid. I just, Circle of the Moon.
I don't know.
Although she probably, as like Ereshari, and especially when she gets her leadership feats, there's probably a lot of homebrew stuff that Matt has added to Circle of the Moon.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of the character choices that kind of modify the tweets slightly, but not enough to be its own kind of entity.
Yeah, because we do know, like, towards the end, when she gets the leadership stuff and all that, all the blessings and all that kind of stuff, that is all homebrew. It's very brilliant. Homebrew.
But it goes with the character as well, of her being the next leader of that show.
Anyway, we continue on. They find a mushroom forest, and Clarota uses some of his cool mind powers to show the entire map, the entire expanse of the cavern telepathically, which I thought was really cool.
But the question you should have is, why didn't do that before?
And essentially...
Foreshadowing.
Essentially, they come into a large cavern, and they know exactly what's there, because Clarota has shown them.
Yeah.
Which is, I just thought it was a brilliant device. I'm going to definitely use that. And then they decide, well, let's get some boats, and they find some that are empty.
Well, they found one that sinks, so they rise it up and fix it up.
And then they have a brief discussion of, should we explore? Because there's a lot of stuff around the edge. They know where the city is. But they decide instead to go around the edges and explore all the caverns and such before they go to the city.
Yeah, basically just make sure they. It's kind of like when you if you play a lot of RPGs like Mass Effect, you go for every kind of like door or do every like little sub thing before you continue the main quest kind of thing.
Absolutely, I have a friend from Christchurch, Jacob, who he will literally just run around the edges of a room. Every level of every game, basically, because he wants to be the one to discover stuff. Well,
I get paranoid of the fact that I'll never be able to go back to this particular location, even though it would be a location you can visit whenever you want. it's still kind of like...
That's because in some games there is.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Anyway, they come around and explore stuff until they come to some undead. Well, it's actually corpses. They don't know they're undead until they start moving. And the party kind of freaks out just a little bit.
But that's when the episode...
That's all, folks.
Well, not ends forever, just that episode.
Yeah. So next week we will be recapping and reviewing what happened next in episode 10. I'm having so much fun watching these old episodes. It's just really cool.
It's very, like, different.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think we've got, like, more of a critical mind now than when I first originally saw it.
Yes, sure.
And I pick up little things, just like the characterizations of the characters.
Yeah.
I think it has tainted me knowing what happens with Tiberius.
Yeah.
And noticing his dynamic with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more noticeable than others, and you kind of see that tension.
But it's also really fun seeing them when they started out, and they were so not prepared. I think for the level of fame that they got quite quickly, and the number of followers and people that were dedicated enough to show up.
I mean, they're still reading out their donations on the stream. They were still kind of getting stoked when they just get 1,200 or 1,000 or 2,000 subs on the Twitch.
It's quite cool.
And I remember they were selling 1,000 shirts. And that they were selling the 1,000 shirts just so they could prove that it was a viable thing.
That Twitch was going to be as big as YouTube or close to.
Yeah, or the show was actually going to continue on, which we all know it has to a degree that no one expected. So.
And now look at the community that we've built around Critical Role. It's wonderful. Critters are the best people. I chat with them online constantly.
And two idiots from New Zealand decided to make a review show on it.
And people actually watch it. I don't know. There's an outside world. Go and libraries are free. I don't know why you...
Well, people watch it because we're like... It's probably just us. We probably just rewatch it.
It is probably, It's
probably like sleepwalk comment. So we've got like special accounts that we
fall
asleep and we log in.
That's that old thing about The Egg by Andy Weir. I can't be bothered going into it, but it's online. Check it out. Anyway, that is us for this episode of NPCs of Tal'Dorei, reviewing episode 9 of Critical Role. We are waiting like hell for the new campaign at the start of next year. We'll be doing reviews of each one of those, but it'll be called NPCs of Wildemount.
Wildemount.
Because they're not in Tal'Dorei. Well, they're in...
but we have done our first speculation video, which I'll pop out right here, but the link will be down below.
Yep.
If you want to watch and comment on what you think of us, we will be doing another one before they start.
Yeah.
And we also will be doing a wrap-up one once they do their big wrap-up show, which I think is on the 15th or the 14th. It's basically they're doing the wrap-up show instead of a Critical Role episode.
Yeah.
So we'll review that, and I think there'll be just that video that week, because technically it's a normal Critical Role.
Yeah. So, if you jump on our speculation video and leave some comments of what you think is going to happen in the new campaign, we promise we read every comment. So it'll be great to have you there. If you have any questions for us for the next episodes on any one of our shows, please comment below and we will get back to you, because we got all going on.
And we'll watch our podcast, because we had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, it was something.
Do you want to talk about Pitch Perfect again?
Yeah, I do actually. That's a damn good movie and a damn good series. I can't wait for number 3. Anyway, check out...
I like how you titillate people into watching it by talking about Pitch Perfect. It's like, watch it! We talk about Pitch Perfect 3! We don't.
No.
We talk about triangle DC and alignment.
Yes, although it's spelt ligament on the page. Anyway, that's...
One mistake. Never let it go.
That's us. Thanks for enjoying. Check out our new podcast, D20 Afterhours, and we'll see you next week. For myself, Oliver Dungeon Master, and...
Dave!
Have a good day, evening, or wherever you are in the world. Nerds of power. I can hear your sadness. Yeah.
You know how we talked about me shitting in your bed?
Multiple times, yes.
Bad news.
We can't, that's not a bit. I can't use that. That's not a bit.
I don't know.
Okay, how about this? No, actually... okay. Hey guys, we're just going to do this. This is actual, real mentalism. This hasn't been set up. I want you to pick your favourite card in the deck. Now, obviously not the Ace of Spades, because that's too obvious. Do you have something?
Pikachu, level 25.
He ended up reading my mind.
No.
That's what was in my head.
That was not in your head.
Pikachu.
I don't.
It's not really a
I
bit.
tried to throw you off, and you didn't.
Okay, go along with it.
Because I wanted you to kind of go, oh, no. Shit.
Yeah. just go along with this time. If this works, it'll be amazing.